Hello there.
Good evening.
Drink your water.
Yes. Yeah. It is once again. Let's go! Thanks for the sub again. Thank you.
Were you pelted?
Thanks for the subs, guys. You guys patiently waiting for me to be here. Happy September, everybody.
Yes, don't forget it is cheaper now to do the for several monthly period subs right now for Blue Sky Cool 9. Don't forget. You also have Amazon.
Thank you.
You can
Hi,
use the
Narine.
bet.
Hi,
Bezo,
Voz.
use his money. Steal his money. Support small creators.
Thank you. Hi guys. How you been?
The ethical way to use capitalism.
Hi Reaper. Hello.
Hello, Reaper.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a nice way to start off, isn't it?
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh, thank you for the flowers as well. It's very warm here in the UK. Once again, so all the Brits are complaining about the heat, and Das woke up with a migraine, so lots of emphasis on making sure you drink water and stay hydrated.
I will take your kneecaps.
Yep.
Fucking don't.
Core, thank you for gifting the sub to Reaper.
Hey, Core. It's been a while.
Thank you. Choo choo. Got a train going. Look at that.
Oh shit. Level 3?
Yeah. How are you? It's been a while since I've been here. I'm good. Yeah, it has been a while. I've moved house since I think you were last here. So yeah, I'm in a new place geographically.
What about mentally?
Maybe mentally, I don't know.
It's like, hang on a sec, let's not get our expectations out of whack here.
Oh boy. Yikes.
Your character certainly is.
I actually changed my name recently, so I don't know if you recognize me. What did you change your name from, is the important question.
Everyone hesitantly holds
everybody hesitates
reaches for the
a split
holster.
second.
It's like, oh no, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There's this moment of just like, wait a second, we got a few fuckers we're watching for.
Sorry. Do you prefer Reaper or Frost then? How do you wish to be addressed?
Would you prefer a Mortal Kombat character or Overwatch character?
God damn it.
What?
Frost Reaper is Faisal. Ah, there we go then. Frost.
It's the monster of Frankenstein. Understood.
And neither person in VC. Brand unification, people.
What will you find on every fucking medium? Daz.
Yep.
Shame that there's a literal content creator who is Daz with a Z.
It is how we do. Yes, I remember the resident Pokemon Conquest wiki. That's you, isn't it? Am I right thinking that? Tis eyes. Right, I need to be doing warm up while we're just chilling. I've already did some circles sneakily, so I gotta do some warm up.
Also, don't forget, we have multiple new emojis in chat.
That's true. I've got like 3 new emotes. 3 new emotes. We've got the camera DC stare into the void.
That's just staring into your soul.
Mm-hmm.
POV, you have not drank water in front of Blue.
You better be staying hydrated.
Hydrate.
And then we got the which I love because that is me, especially when people be dropping subs. Reaper comes from Reaper of Death / Grim Reaper. God, why did I just get reminded of that like 90s cartoon of the Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy? Just
Mandy,
really-
the original Eric Cartman. Got her brain sucked out by an alien entity and literally became the primary mentality within it. That girl was a fucking demon.
Yes.
She smiled and entered into the multiverse. Like, do not trust her.
She terrified the Reaper, so.
Yeah, and you made death afraid. Does anything else really need to be said after that point?
Yeah, health check in here, nice and early.
Okay. Oh yeah, Reaper. I know.
Frost.
I'm quite familiar with them. First name basis.
Sit up and drown.
Oh, I just want specifically Zangief from Street Fighter 6 because the size of him to just grab me and just like grab me from either side like a fucking glow stick and snap my back.
Oh, we want the Mr. Incredible. Just.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Level 3 hype chain, let's go! Enjoy your emotes.
Buggers. What did I get?
I got a dog.
What are that doing?
I got a little dog.
Let's see.
Cute.
She beat me again.
Yeah, it's a little reward that Twitch does if you take part in the hype train. You get free emotes.
Yeah.
I love the little pigeon that I got from one. Look how adorable this little pigeon is.
Just a little guy.
This is a little guy.
That is, in fact, a little creature. Don't you know I still standing?
Today's going to be a weird one. I literally actually sat down at my computer and I was like, I do not know what to draw. And like, I went through all the standard stuff, you know, the standard list of like, you know, OCs, you know, going through Blue and D&D and all of that. And it was like, I don't know if I want to draw any of those. So I've settled on doing some like concepts almost rather than anything, so don't expect a polished picture by the end of this. It's going to be lots of scribbling and erasing and being like, do I like that, do I not like that, lots of googling references and things.
You're now interested in Daz's lore.
Jesus. That goes back a bit, doesn't it?
At the dawn of time, a Tarask fell over.
At the dawn of time, there was a game called World of Warcraft. Oh, just the quiet air.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's whether we want Das the character, Das the person, or Das's little icon, which is DM.
Yes.
Those are all three separate entities.
And we just play Russian roulette to see which fucker comes out at the end. They'll get respawned at the next day.
I'm interested in all the lore. We want some old school lore. Yesterday when I was looking through my I was looking through stuff to put on my commission sheet because I'm reopening my commissions, and I found some vintage stuff. I found this.
Back from the Red Days.
Yes, this was the Red Days. This is a vintage Blue image. And where's the other one? The other one is not as vintage, but is still pretty vintage. Who's that, Das? Who's that? What's this? Who's this with this little tiny person stood on their foot?
That's my dragon. That's my dragon. That's
Being
me.
told off.
I remember having to do a voice dub of
Yes.
just. The worst part was trying to do big heavy stomps when I absolutely did not know how to do big heavy stomps into a mic.
Oh
And just
yeah,
be like,
we're not Foley artists, you know. The people who do that stuff professionally.
Oh yeah, no.
Old school law.
I fucking had to take shoes and stomp them on a desk.
I added a random page back from when I played Black 2 and copied all of the ruins underwater. Oh my god. Diamonds on my neck. Oh my god, that's all so old. Vintage. It was lore and I needed it. We all need the lore.
The lore.
Lore!
So, like, the olden day Daz was originally played well, had a horde character, had a name which was a combination of several things from Irish. Because all I would do is I'd look up cool things or things I thought were needed in Irish. I would literally take out a dictionary, search for the words, put the words down on paper, and mix them up until I found something I like. Like Infrendatua, which just means hellish act. Which for some reason I decided to name my fucking Tauren.
Sketching.
Then I made up the name Dazact, coming from the Irish, one of the Irish pseudo words for rage and anger. Because I played a warrior and everything else, and also, even all these years later, it still fucking fits my personality.
No.
I could be an angry little bitch when I want to be.
We all can be angry little bitches when we want to be. Oops.
Yes, but I play it up because it's funny.
That's true. That's why I scream a lot.
Yeah.
Over exaggeration is comedy. So minimize a bunch of stuff there. Did you know that the T-Rex have the largest lungs? It doesn't have the largest lungs, but it has the largest lungs in relation to its body size.
There you go. See, Core, you're trying to be the smart ass and you still get it thrown back at you.
My own game, boy!
You come into my house? How dare you? So someone fucking
Wolf,
talking
nice. Talk about
someone talking
my
to me.
lore and not about myself. I can relate to that. Talking about my OCs instead of me. I have a personality, I promise.
I've just divided it up and spread it amongst all these things.
It's been split up into all of these characters. If I tell you about all these characters, you'll get an approximation of what my personality is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many people saw it, but this was the comm sheet that we spat out yesterday.
Hmm.
It's got a lot more...
someone's gotten commissioned on that.
Yeah. It's got a lot more on it than the last one did.
Yes.
Which is nice. That's that's reassuring.
There's my lizard.
Yes.
He goes.
Yes, this is one of Das's. Play a bard, I don't even have to roar to damage you. Insult the man to death.
I'm just saying, if someone vicious mockery, try again. Vicious mockeries Edmund Astreus to death, I will love you.
Oh, if only we had a bard in the party.
Zal, quickly, you have a chance to change your stuff up.
Respec! Get that respec in the bard. Yes, this is an ice dragon. That's his ice dragon.
Ice Dragonborn bites people.
Bite you, bite you, bite you, bite you, bite you.
Has a distinct habit of rolling incredibly poorly on breath weapon attacks. And it's like, oh my
That's
god!
annoying.
Look! There's like half a dozen of them all lined up. It's actually perfect. Line up. Literally do the whole vroom, 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 vroom. Double ones.
That's why I always tend to roll first and then describe attack, because I always felt really silly if I described an attack only for it to miss or be abysmal. So I'm like, I'm gonna roll first to see if it hits, then describe what happens. Like the whole, oh, if Domara missed, she was using her bad hand.
Like the joke I have with my dreadnought that I painted up there, Broody the Brutalis, where if he misses in his shooting phase, it's because his sarcophagus got put in upside down. Because yes, I did put it in upside down, but when I realized it much too late, I couldn't actually take it out because it was glued in so solidly.
Yep. So I was saying yesterday how I kind of want to basically address this section in a way of they seem to match the right and the left up of, I have all of these bases, but I've only got these examples. So what I am essentially doing tonight is kind of sketching out like character ideas to put on these bases that I have, which I've wanted to do for a while. It's something that's
It's
been
also a
bubbling in the
fun-
back of my brain for a very long time.
Yeah, it's also a fun little theory little thing of like, well, what would I make with this?
Yeah, like I have like I've explained this like roughly to a couple of people. I basically almost have like a story that I kind of want to try telling. Which is gonna be, it is like D&D based, so like all, the characters will have D&D classes and stuff assigned to them, and they will generally probably also follow D&D tropes. So a lot of these characters and these bases I've kind of like assigned classes to and want to make designs that match them. So like the Rex, the Evo Rex HD is going to be my bard, because Rex is a horny and I will not hear otherwise. Things like that of playing into stereotypes of like a Jex. I love Jexes. Originally I was going to make the Jex a monk, and then literally a couple of weeks ago I had the epiphany of I want to make the Jex the ranger for very mushy personal reasons. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. This is. I feel like I'm about to get called out by a bunch of people, but I have realized watching streamers and hanging out in VR chat that when I see Jexes, and let me Kuda's Jex. I'm about to get called out by all of my non-furry friends. I'm about to get called out so hard. Basically, whenever I see a Jex, there is a virtual tail wagging. I love seeing Jexes. I love them so much. Like, I don't necessarily want to be a Jex, although I do own a Jex and I do love wearing it, but for me it's like wearing a set of clothes. But anytime I see another Jex, I'm like, ah, Jex! So I realised that actually what I want to do is make the Jex a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Because a certain someone who's very, very, very special to me also played a ranger.
Gay.
So yeah, I might be coming up with a Jex that is partially inspired by Alistair, I guess.
You know what I'm gonna have to say, right?
What?
Where would I belong, my dear?
Hang on.
This is where I see myself just get kicked from the call like a butt. Also, bingo! Get the bingo card out! Frost, that's the thing though. It's not exactly, it's the stereotype, not all bards.
Yeah, it's just playing into stereotypes.
It's a caricature.
Yeah. Because I fully agree with that. As someone who identifies as a demi-ace, I literally made a bard to go against that stereotype. But again, this is to play. The characters are to play into those stereotypes.
Because it's very easy to have a caricature that does that, and later on you can design other ones.
Yeah.
Let's see now. Seriously? A bear?
What?
Oh, because of Teddy Ursa. No, because of oh, what's his name again? It's not Teddy Ursa. What's it again? Beware.
What? It's perfect though, because it's like,
Yes.
"Aw, teddy bear," and then you see a grizzly bear in person, and you go, "Oh wait." So it's actually perfect though. I don't own this.
She is more or less perfect. Not gonna lie, kind of based. Gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't actually own this though, so he won't be seeing the light of day for a while at least.
I don't like the light of day anyway. It's not my preferred.
So anyway, yeah. To go back to what I'm saying, but basically, I might be making an Alistair inspired Jex because I want to, and they're gonna be the ranger.
Finally, the furry has been chosen.
So
Finally,
yeah, that was a
really
realization I had. Of every time I saw a Jex, I was like, oh, Jex.
Blue.
They're very pretty.
Finally, a worthy persona. Our shipping shall be legendary.
No. Oh my god. The thing is that I was then, because then obviously to sort of go to the OC link of like, if I'm gonna make the Ranger based off Alistair, then I am gonna make the Robust based off Delmara.
Yeah.
So,
Elf
obviously,
persona.
I like
Where's the bird?
Yeah, that's the thing. I like canines, but Delmara would definitely be a bird. And the thing is that at the moment there are good bird bases out there, but none of them perfectly fit how I want Delmara to look because, let's be honest, it's Delmara, and I feel about her a lot. You know, so I want her to be very particular. So I'm already like, oh no,
right.
it's going to be custom avatar time for Delmara.
She's your Blorbo. You got to do your Blorbo right.
She's not going to be a retexture. She's going to be custom avatar.
Yeah.
Who is the Warlock? The Warlock is the Ghost Blaze, which is a base I do own. So that is one of the ones I'm going to be designing today. I'm gonna basically, when I say designing, I'm gonna sketch a very rough outline of the bases because the main thing is going to be the colors. Because the model already exists. This is the Ghost Blaze. It's based off of Typhlosion. I won it in a giveaway. I also know Quaggy and they are a sweetheart. And I decided that they suited the sort of warlock personality.
Yeah, that reads. That strongly reads. That makes sense.
Yeah, so this is going to be the warlock. Who's the warlock? So I mean patron. Don't know yet. That's going to be part of the story, I think.
I've had a lot of fun as a dungeon master, having patrons literally like be people's like fairy godmothers and fun elements like that. But it's not just that. Not just that. We've had other people who have definitely bound themselves to entities,
yes.
warlock, patron based or not. And those are fun.
That's the priest. The cleric is gonna be this little guy, the yellow fella.
Hang on a second. Is this the one I think it's gonna be?
This is a free
Yes!
base.
Yes.
They're just look how small they are. They're just a little guy. So this is a free base, and this avatar that I'm wearing this avatar in this picture is actually like a public one. So I kind of want to, I really like this, so I'm going to be taking this and kind of like tweaking it a little bit to make it my own, so that it is my own custom one, but it was one of those ones where all of my avatars are blue, and then I have this one avatar that is yellow, and I was like, oh no, I just really like the yellow. And they're just really cute. And I love this picture because it's like, yay, we're going horse riding, but also I am terrified because I am little. So I was just clinging to the back of my friend as we were riding this horse.
You'll have to forgive me because my brain just goes back to that TikTok go. Well, you lived a good life, right? I'm only 10. I said good, not long.
But there's literally a picture here of me in a public lobby going, oh, Jexes! Other Jexes! I like Jexes! I had this realization about myself. Someone pretzeling. I went to a prom night in VR. This is me dressed up for prom in VR.
Oh Lord. Not of like that's not a judgmental. That's more of a oh god, someone did prom night.
It was fun.
It's like, yeah, I look at that. I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. My first one was not so hot.
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
want to.
Like my first prom, the prom that I went to was okay. You know, as someone who did have friends, but in general was considered kind of unpopular at school. So my prom was okay. VR prom was definitely more fun. Look at this picture. VR prom was way more fun.
Mm.
Look at this. Look at this dragon boy. Alright, distracted.
This
I
is
like
where
the,
we like.
You like the yellow because of Quickball. True, Quickball, my beloved.
Yeah.
Warlock follows the path of the Ouroboros, and their patron is themselves from the future who came back in time to start them on their adventure and teach them their powers. Wow, that's a cool concept.
That's one of those ones where it's quite fun of a no, my warlock worked for this character, then I killed this character, but this character exists at all times, so I've just eliminated my own source of power. So I have to go back to enable my source of power. There was a really fun one I saw similar to that, not quite, but akin, in a way of gods and the like and lords of hell had all been killed and people had to be sent back in time. More or less were sent back in time to try and stop it, but they were all killed at that point. So they all realized they would become the gods. And the most noble member of the party, the paladin, ends up becoming the Lord of Hells because no one else could be trusted in that position to do the horrible things that would be needed of them, but to do it out because it is their duty. Including sending demons to go and kill his family, which was the thing that started him out on his mission as a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get into that heavy, good, spicy shit.
I went to somebody else's prom. What? Sounds like the story that my brother told me one day of like him and his friends went out drinking and they accidentally crashed somebody's wedding because they just wandered into a place and they were like, "Oh, there's food and free drinks," and then like people were dancing, and literally like his mate went onto the dance floor and everybody was looking at him and Craig was like, was everyone looking at him? And the guy was like, well, I think they were getting ready to do their first dance, and that was when all the like bricks clicked into my brother's brain and he was like, oh, we need to leave. Because nobody had realized that they had just crashed this wedding.
Ugh, I do not envy that. But Core, that sounds like something you would do. And I'm just like, yeah, of course you fucking did, Core. Also, in a very typical Irish situation, the one I went to was the school I was in wasn't really a school. It was more like a, hey, try to get the best results you can for college, basically, to go to college. And they were like, yeah, no, we just rented out like a pub for a night. Come get shit faced.
Right.
And it's like, oh hey, that teacher's getting way too friendly with girls and all these other things.
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Had not fun experiences, and then was like, okay, pick me up, I want to go home. And then I just got chicken, went home, and we were okay.
A friend set me up with a girl from another school. Oh, right, I see. In my actual lore, I was sent back in time to help Death at the beginning of time, but I haven't decided whether or not Death was there or not. It's one of those things that we figure out as we go.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with Death in a lot of the writings that I do because, as has been explained to some people before, in my settings, Death is. It's not was, not will be, not is currently. Just is a perpetual thing. They are a state of being in the universe, and as such, they can never really be taken away. As in, well, good fucking luck, because it's not going to happen.
Every once in a while, I chuckle about Delmara's near-death experience.
Yeah, which one?
The literal one, where she realised that she was stood, like, 2 feet away from death and, like, very subtly took a slight step to the side. Like, she
Yeah,
didn't,
that was
she
right.
didn't realize it until like halfway into the conversation, and then she was like, "Oh, sidesteps."
Oh, excuse me. I should not be standing here. Please go take this man with this terrible mustache.
Frosted
So
Trees with
Blue.
you.
Uh, let's talk about things which are important to both of us, like D&D.
Yes, we have been talking about D&D.
No,
You
but we're
little-
not
you little
talking about
gremlin.
recent
The
D&D.
D&D.
As in last week
That's
D&D,
making
because
your
stuff.
brain. That's making your brain vibrate at high speed.
Oh, motherfucker, you ain't got no idea.
How long have I known you?
That's true. Anyway.
Brain go brr.
Tell them what happened.
You tell me what happened. You were there.
So, in a campaign that we play on Thursdays, which is not streamed, Blue, her character has an antagonist, which is a vampire. She plays as a werewolf and a monster hunter. Yes, it is vampire v werewolf to start the campaign with, and we love it for that.
Yes.
Sometimes the best things can come from the most standard of concepts.
Look, it was very funny when I sat down with opposite cults in a coffee shop to discuss character creation, and I went, "How do you feel about vampires versus werewolves?" Not knowing that she had already made the villain of the campaign a vampire. So she just sat there and quietly smiled to herself and went, "Good, excellent." And I'm like, "Cool."
Yes. See you, Reap.
Okay, bye.
Good to see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. Hope to see you again.
So, this character torments Blue's character in dreams quite frequently. I believe one of the more common ones, which we only mildly got seen ourselves because they would happen to you in private, was just a... There's your character, Tala, looking over a cliff, and you hear the words, "Jump." Do it. In your head. To some extent. Some form or
I think
another.
you'd be surprised how little actually occurred in private. A lot of them were generally just done in campaigns. It's always Kay who has like a private DM RP with girls. You actually did get to see the majority of those encounters. Well, as the player,
No,
I mean.
we actually didn't. Not even as a player. You were like taken away for a good chunk of them. It was only very recently.
I actually forgot that we used to use the DM's whisper because we don't use it anymore.
Yeah. We don't use it anymore because we're also like, let's be real, it's one of those things of, to her credit, Curls has realized, hey, taking away one player for this long kind of means the others just sit there and do nothing. Whereas instead, we can have like a really cool acted out scene.
Yes.
To her credit, by the way, which is great. And again, I love that fucking campaign to my fucking heart's content. So, for those who don't know, the primary villain gets her powers from a eldritch deity named Zentrellus. I almost said Lakith. That would be an entirely different campaign. Zentrellus. Zentrellus being a god, which was immortal, turned into a god by gods, because one of them decided, hey, look, I totally understand what's our purpose and what we're meant to do with our gifts. Let me make a god. And then the chief god went, the fuck did you just do? Couldn't hit the undo button and decided, here, you like deep spaces, so I'm gonna just put you in the deep water. There you go. There you go. There you go. And there's just a very confused deity-like entity now just in the water going, huh? More things happened to this poor entity and eventually had to be shoved into vaults across multiple
This is the most summary
planes.
of summaries that I've ever heard, but do carry on.
Look, in fairness, I actually am cutting a lot off.
That's why I said it's the most summary of like, this is so hyper condensed, but it is also correct.
Yes, it's also correct, and I am missing a lot of like fluff detail, but we don't need it right now.
Yes.
So, one thing that's very key. This entity is the god of change and chaos. Keep that in mind. These were ones that Curl said to us. We don't know these in game. So this entity basically tries to reach out to people, but it can't speak. Reached out to the villain of the campaign, Mara, whose husband tried to play Game of Thrones and was about to have his whole family Romanoved, shall we say. Romanoved. For those who know about what happened to the Russian royal family, there you go. So, got a choice. She said, fuck it, I'll work with the ancient eldritch deity because it'll literally save my family. Then decided, oh, this deity wants me to kill my sons. Did it. Got more flashes and images in her head and said, she must want me to do more. Because again, Zentrellis cannot convey things through words. Which other gods did also try to do at the start of the campaign and went, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna speak to you because I have a mouth and you can fucking hear me.
Yeah, it's just easier that way.
Yeah. Credit to Teneros who went, okay, fuck this mythical shit, I'm just gonna speak to you. Credit where it's due. She preferred the blunter option to her credit. Not Red Wedding. Much more a case of, they live on that hill. I want that to be just a hill when you're done. So, she then went, oh, she must want more sacrifices. I know just where to go, and just went to a village. Just a random, no-name, unfortunate village.
She probably went to other places as well, but we don't actually know, but it's safe to assume she did.
Given Lilith was an adopted one.
Yeah, well, given all of the other daughters, quote-unquote.
Well, no, all of them are biological except her. Lilith is the only one that isn't biological. So she eventually finds this poor little sucker. Like, calls the family, finds this one. This one bites her fucking hand to be like, fuck you.
Whoops.
And gets yeeted down a well.
Yep.
The issue with being yeeted down a well is, this was in the middle of winter, and essentially, for the way that the ecology of the place is, think of Australia. But fantasy Australia. Now think of it as Sweden or Finland with fantasy Australia, in the ways of, those are giant fucking trees, if you're out there in the middle of winter, you are going to die, and,
Do you mean Antarctica?
No, like I mean like more like Sweden and Finland, because they have gargantuan trees like Onlotham does, and like that country does, that continent does.
Why did you say Australia?
Oh, because the fauna will kill you. But
Right.
it's that, the fauna is megafauna and yeeted into the north. So her stealth bites and ends up getting a little bit of Zentrellis' blood in her. Whoopsie doodle.
Whoopsie.
Gets found by a bunch of werewolves. TLDR, woo. Family is like, hey, here's a new family. Family 2, Electric Boogaloo, decides, hey, here's a thought. Why don't we just fucking kill the bitch? So one goes off, the other one says, fuck, I have to follow her, goes off. No, the other one then later on goes off to find. And it's later off, oh no, both are MIA. So Mara then, throughout the entire campaign, continues to plague Tala in her dreams, being a bitch, and so on and so on. We kill one of her daughters, and she gets very unhappy, and is like, "Way, get it up, you bitch." Continue. Zal decides to stick his hand in. In fairness, this was Zal actually trying to get a sample of the forbidden soup.
Yes, he failed a roll.
Yes, think of Zentrellis' blood quite like the Venom symbiote, in that way of it's somewhat pseudo-sentient, and will just try to grab you. And is kind of like a consuming element with itself. Struggles to consume things which are not mortal, i.e. Fae and other such elements and fiends, but that's where it's weakest and that's where it's the strongest. There is no Underdark here yet, thankfully. So they continue. Oh, for fuck's sake. Nemo, I will curse you forever for having inserted that into everyone's head and it's never gone away.
It's true.
You do realize I will have to do a drow voice, which is, crikey, mate, what you fucking doing down here?
Nemo does it.
Yes, the difference is Nemo's not the DM.
It's never stopped him before.
Nothing ever stops that man. Fucking lightning will strike next to his foot, and all he'll do is shout, "You missed."
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not talking about in-game. I'm convinced that's actually happened to the man.
Yeah. I'm also convinced of that.
So, Zal is also infected by Zentralis. But think of it like a chain, and there's Zentralis, Mara, Tala, and then there's Zentralis, Zalric. This is continuing in the campaign. Zal has had to have help in hey, here's a thought. Why don't we try to slow down this corruption that is consuming over your body, Zal? And it's like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. We do it. Kind of helps. Really does, thankfully, somehow. And it's one of those things where I'm convinced someone was very annoyed at Thane for going, "How do you mean you figured out how to slow it down, you son of a bitch?" And I'm like, get it up yet. So, Zal gets dreamy, memory nonsensey stuff happening from Zentralis. Not Mara. Mara has no idea that Zal's got any connections in these things yet. This is a benefit. You are about to see why.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tala decides, along with Zal, why don't we try and figure out what's going on with Zentralis, and in doing so, see if we can stall Mara and stop Mara from getting involved or looking at the situation. Which would mean Tala's got to distract Mara in the dream space. Bearing in mind, the dream space is Mara's bread and butter.
Yeah.
This is the thing she's good at. This is like, oh, you're trying to fight Vecna? Okay, what are you using? Necromancy? Are you fucking mad?
Yeah, basically.
Continues. And it's like, okay. Now, to Blue's credit, she's very clever. She keeps Mara's attention away from any elements that could even be remotely ascertained to it. And I think you even do exclaim at one point in the actual session, "I actually kind of forgot what I was meant to do here. So ergo it's working because I'm not thinking about it." Shit.
Yeah, I did say that. I said that that's what had happened to Tala. I was like, in typical Tala fashion, she was getting so angry that she was forgetting what she was supposed to be doing. But what she's basically supposed to be doing is being a distraction. So it's working.
Yes. Meanwhile, Zal was talking to Zentralis and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll sign up to be your chosen. Why not? That sounds fun." And while she's there talking with Zal eventually takes a bit of effort, opens up his mind to Zentralis and starts taking damage in the waking world.
Mm-hmm.
So I just start going, "No, heal, 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 heal," because I make a medicine check, so it's not med-y, and it's like, because again, Thane is watching these two like a hawk. He's got a bunch of magic all around them, trying to stop anything else from interfering while they're doing this. I'm not gonna lie, would get a little bit of catharsis if Curls later comes back and says the reason Mara had such issue with you in the Fae in there was not only that, but also because she was looking through a fog because there was so much magic around you from that bastard over there, and it's like, hey, abjuration. They will make a good abjuration wizard.
Yeah.
He's all
well, it's Eldritch Knight, isn't it? Because Eldritch Knight get abjuration
Yeah.
and the other one.
evocation.
Evocation.
Yeah. So it works from his original
Yeah.
multi-class, which he
Yeah.
no longer has.
Yeah, yeah, because unfortunately in 5e Eldritch Knight is pants.
Eldritch Knight, I do think like Matthew Mercer's little Rune Knight, not little Echo Knight thing, is actually like a much better way to do it. But say that be. Well, it's because I've seen what he does with an Eldritch Knight, with everything that an Eldritch Knight can just do at a high level, and it's like, oh, that's fucking horrifying. Very much so a late game build. So, Zal opens his mind to Zentralis. As he does, Zentralis is then shown by Zal everything Mara has done. And I do believe the two emotions that Curls then describes... Oh, pardon me, before that happens, Zal does explain that the gods want to try and apologize to Zentralis, and actually shows an image of the tool that they intend to use to try and like heal the world, which may hopefully also heal Zentralis. Fingers crossed. Because that would be great if Zentralis didn't have the black blood in her anymore. That would be fucking A1. Because again, that black blood's not hers. It's just blood that's just stuck to her, unfortunately.
Mm.
I would love to know where that's origins from as well. That's one of those plot holes where it's like, okay, we literally just have a myth as to where this came from. Do not know anything else about it.
It's not a plot hole, it's just a mystery.
No, sorry. I don't mean it as a plot hole. I mean, like, there's a hole in the plot that I want to fill by finding it. Not that it's a... Carl's didn't think this through. Carl's absolutely knows where that came from.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no tool, shall we say, for us to chase that chain. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
we don't
it's
have...
a mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm curious, because of course I am. So, Zhao shows Zantrella said, hey, the gods are trying to, like, be good. And all the while, Curls is like, oh yeah, add +5, you're +5 to that. And we're all like, what do you mean? And then she pauses and goes, that's you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's my +5. It's like, well, yes, I would love to have a +15 to this conversation. Yes, thank you. Oh, what's that? I rolled a 4. I guess I have a 19. Oh, what's that? I rolled a natural
Rogue
20.
numbers.
Okay, here's 35.
Yep, rogue numbers.
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever had even remote access to rogue numbers, and it's for RP exclusively. It makes me very happy. So, Zal convinces Zentrellis, and Zentrellis is like, okay, I'll play. Gets shown everything, and Zentrellis' emotions are then regret and rage. In that way of, oh dear God, you did what with my tools? I taught you how to use fire. Why did you learn fusion? Why did you learn how to split the atom? What the fuck? So needless to say, Tala is currently holding back quite a lot that's going on with Mara and keeping her busy. And Mara's trying to move her places and shuffle her around. Tala then manages to make Mara go to the one place she knows she would not want to go, which is the home her family lived in, which was where her daughters were being killed, and where she killed her own husband and fled. Now, there's a character I've not been referring to in this current arc, and it's like, well, if she's not from that country, why is she a queen, and why does she have all this power? Because she's married to the current king, Edmund de fucking Strauss.
That
Who-
guy! Yeah!
The guy that nobody has fought and survived in records in the continent. Bar us, but nobody knows that we've survived him. And we didn't survive him, he got bored. Which kind of actually hurts more, gonna be honest.
Mm.
There's this moment of like him going, okay, I'm bored, I'm gonna leave. And things like, the fuck do you mean you gotta leave?
You've got better
Now
things to
again,
do.
yeah, his wife.
Wow.
Look, you can't tell me that those two are anywhere near PG. They've got like evil Gomez Adams vibes, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Images I do not need.
Edmund looking at her, mi amor. But so Mara starts getting nervous because she has no control over the space. Now the thing as well is like, I haven't referred to Edmund because, well, Edmund has no way of getting into the dream space because he doesn't. He is tied to infernal powers and the powers of the hells. These are not the powers that are tied to here. So there's no way Edmund should be able to. He begins as she starts getting terrified and Tala gets ready to chase her in this dream space. He starts ripping his way into the dream space. Again, he should not have this power. This is like me telling you that a paladin rolled a religion check and is starting to work with arcane effects. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? That makes no sense. That's fucking terrifying. So, Zal and Zentrellis are looking in at the scene going, wow, man, that's crazy. Anyway, watering hose. And Zentrellis gets told by Zal, break your tie to Mara and break Mara's tie to Tala. And seemingly, both connections were broken as Mara was washed away from the dream space. Which is hilarious because Zentrellis was her source of power. The reason so many people failed to attack and kill Mara in assassination attempts was because the bitch was immune to radiant damage as the only cleric of a god. Literally, all of the god's attention went into her. So, she now has one less major tool of power for herself. Which we're all like, yay, that's awesome! Oh dear god, Edmund's gonna turn into a demon now because he's fueled off of emotion. And we just stole all of his wife's favorite toys, and we've definitely made her have a breakdown and a question of judgment. Like, this is straight up a test of character moment for her that she's probably gonna crumble. Crumble.
Grumble.
Oh my dear, those are rookie numbers. You've only had one god
Rookie
fuck with your
numbers.
life? Oh my dear, you've only had one god fuck with your life? No, come back to me in a little bit. You remind me of my brother. I broke my brother in half. Little sad demon boy. Crumble would be the most arrogant bastard to those two, but he would also be simultaneously keeping like 50 foot away at all times. Like, yes, outside.
It's because he is also smart, unfortunately.
I have had a grunt before. I am aware what happens when you have a brute fueled by love. They are dangerous. I'm going to say the fuck over here. It's like, you ruined my life. Nah. Diglett! Hi, Diglett!
It's going
You
well.
ruined my life.
We're in the middle of hyper-focused D&D times.
You ruined my life. Nah. The fuck do you mean, nah?
Me nuh-uh.
They ruined my life. We've ruined your life so far. And the thing is, it's like, oh yeah, they're probably going to be able to recuperate. She'll probably get some demon powers and the like. So they'll probably actually be quite a threat to us. Like, yes, you're right. They would definitely have a lot of, they would definitely do something demonic based and build up. Except we're literally right outside their door. We are in the tunnels that lead to their city. We are literally one day minimum away. Like, I can't emphasize enough how close we are to these people. Physically, like, our characters are physically the closest they have ever been to them at the same time, both of them. Because we fought him, and again, he got bored and left us. And now it's really going to be a thing of, hey, Edmund, did you tell your wife that you fought us? That you had a chance to kill us and you didn't? Hey, Edmund, you're going to tell your wife that the reason that all her daughters are dead is because you decided not to kill us? Edmund. Hey, Edmund.
I mean, she probably told him not to kill us is the thing. Well, not to kill Tala, at least.
He could have killed the rest of us.
Yes.
Like, he could have played around and then decided just to tap out, because the fuck would Tala be able to do to get us back up? God, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of really hyped for just like, okay, congratulations, you two, you have managed to do immense amounts of damage to her. My turn. Hey, Eddie, fucking run hands. I am now a demon lord. Aha, so now you're my specialty.
So what you're saying is...
Might. I imagine Thane would be really insufferable for Edmund to fight because he can protect him from good and evil and put up his fucking dodge roll or dodge action and just be like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, big man? How many saves you gotta make? God, that would piss it. I feel like that would piss Edmund off so much, and I really want that for us. Oh, Blue, did you actually show off the art you made with Zal and Tala on stream?
No, it's just a sketch.
Show it off, though.
Nah.
Do it.
Okay, let's go around.
Crumble did not have his plans crumble as a direct result of Grunt. Grunt just got in the way of him just physically walking up and smacking the whole party because he was just aware of how long it would. Here's the thing: I have no doubt in my mind he could have taken her out. It just would have taken him so long to
Oh, yeah.
do. Like his whole thing is about, okay, I can take you out in about 2 to 3 turns if I want to. If I need to put my back into it, I can drop someone in 1 or 2 turns. If I need to drop someone immediately, I can do it on an action. And all I've got to do is strike, drag someone away, and then I have him isolated and have all the time I need in the world. Which he was never really going to do with Grunt because it's like, oh, great. This one literally will not fuck off from me, will she? Also, the one issue is that his brother killed the only thing he could have used as leverage on Grunt.
Whoops.
It's like, you fucking idiot, I needed that one. You useless twink. My dear boy, you are a useless twink. Brother, my dear, economically challenged brother, remind me if I ever wanted to kill myself. I could climb to the heights of your blind arrogance and be down to your incompetence.
Das is going off again, chat. Don't mind them.
Daddy. That brain made me go, Made me do the zoomies. I'm also on painkiller, so.
Yeah, there is that.
I have so many bodies that are like at a decent stage now.
He's painting minis.
Oh, damn.
It's just he said I've got so many bodies that are ready. It's just out of
Yeah?
context.
You know I'm not a necromancer, mind your business. What are you, a cop? Shut your
They're
mouth.
painting minis.
Shut your mouth. What are you, a cop? Also, Blue, one thing that I...
It's a
Diglett! It's a
Diglett!
Diglett! It's a Diglett, Diglett! Oh my god, Blue. I got a Fuecoco earlier in Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, the event started. I forgot.
I got me a chili pepper.
A chili crocodile.
Cat boy. Where the fuck did I leave? There he is. Hi. But sorry, the thing I was talking about was, it's quite selfish, I know, but I can't help it. Is I'm like, wow, look at what Curls is doing with this section of the Okar campaign. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Sweats and stares at Ondla Thumb. I know I'm next. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had a bit of this issue when they were like, "Oh yeah, you're the chosen of Teneros. You have like quite a bit of autonomy here in Josiah." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, no, 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 no! Don't give me agency. Don't make me the main character. No, Tala, get back in that position."
I've had my turn, bitch. Surprise! Main character be upon ye.
No, I meant it with generic NPC too. No. There has been a thing that Marisha Ray said as one of her characters recently, or not recently, like this was a few, I think probably even years ago by this point. Christ, I don't want to think about that. Where the character gave off like what their backstory was, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, that's horrible. Why are you so happy?" And she just went, "The worst thing that could ever possibly happen to me already has."
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, and they're looking at it with Thane, and it's like, I got cut in half one day. The fuck you gonna do to me?
Worst day of my life has already happened.
Yep. And of course, I cannot say that in character because I know Curls, and she'll go, ha 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 ha. Death is not the worst thing that can happen to you.
Is
Death
that
is
a
an end.
challenge?
Are you challenging me? Like Scoob, I'm the man behind the slaughter. I can't make any Shaggy references without thinking of Scoob, I'm the man behind the slaughter. Because of course, the fucking actor of Scooby-Doo again. Can't wait for him. Like every generation he has to play in some form of like monster or horror style flick in that way of Scooby-Doo, well here's horror monsters. Scream, here's a killer. FNAF, both. Don't forget to take your water, have a stretch, save your files.
Lecter.
Especially like if you are, as it is with us right now, in Ireland and the UK and everywhere in between and outside of where it's like, oh, I'm sure it's reasonable. It's, September. And you have 80-degree/29-degree heat. We had 30 here today.
Yeah, just like, why? It's
You
supposed to be in the
motherfucker.
autumn. Oh my god, a Lechonk. You made me open the app and I was like, well, let's see what's around. Lechonk.
Unironically, a Pokemon thing would have. He'd have a chunky little man. I have made the list of like what thing would have as a trainer and what thing would have as like a gym leader, and they're just very different. Because he does have a Mudsdale as a
yeah.
gym leader, but it's terrestrialized into steel.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're a trainer, you've got a bit of leeway, but when you're doing a gym leader, you have to like monotype yourself essentially.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it would be kind of
Assigned
fun
steel
if.
at birth.
Hey, you're correct, but hey, shut up, dark type.
Dark types are great. I don't know what you're talking about. I need to remember to pre-order the DLC for Scarlet and Violet so I can get literally if you pre-order the DLC you get a Tala, which is they give you a Hisuian Zoroark which has the Terra type of Dark, and I'm like, it's her!
Shit, that's fucking mandatory for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I need to remember to
You
get
should
it.
donate to Blue or give her commission works, and you can do that over on her Twitter.
Someone give me, what is it, $20 to buy the DLC? I don't know how much it costs.
And if you want to commission her, you could check in and commission her over on there, and you can see all her prices, including some of the stuff she's working on right now.
Like, you can get they're £10 each. If you buy 2 stickers, then you've basically done it. There you go, it's good. Look at this, I can draw a Pokemon. We'll draw Pokemon for Pokemon. Maybe that's tomorrow's afternoon stream. We'll draw
Pokemon for Pokemon.
We'll draw Pokemon for Pokemon.
Okay, a bunch of these are at a nice stage, so now we'll move on to the ones which I wasn't like, oh, I'll do these ones. Like, I had some of them prepped, but these ones I'll just do because they're kind of okay, because what I've done with these is I've given them a contrast on a lot of these, so they have, more or less you get like one coat of paint. It's all you need when you do this, and it's a thin enough layer that it kind of looks like it's got some decent, inlaid color to it. Like, in that way that the pigment's kind of weighted, so you get like some dark recesses with it.
Yes.
Quite nice for that.
See, now I want to Google and actually see how much the DLC is.
I'm
How
a
much
terrible little
is
cretin for
the
instigating shit, aren't I?
Pokemon DLC? The problem with Nintendo is that half of the time they actually don't list the prices of games on their website.
They're like, you'll buy it.
Apparently it's closer to £30 rather than 20. But still. You can
3
get,
stickers,
you
chat.
can
Someone
get
get 3
free
stickers.
stickers!
One thing about this that it's almost like that canary way with myself right now is that I can feel when I'm letting myself get any slight bit of discomfort where I'm like, no, untense your jaw. Give it bop bop bop. That was something that was incredibly cursed over the weekend. So, over the weekend, I'd seen a thing a while back. You probably have too, of Skidby or something like that. Skidby toilets. Essentially, it's Source Filmmaker. The guy's head pops out of a toilet and literally sings the skibbity bop 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 bobado yes yes yes. If you've seen any of that song, but then it jumps at the screen. It doesn't do like a jump scare. It just jumps at the screen. It's literally become a fucking anime that this man is making, and it's one of those ones where it starts so fucking weird, and then you just sit there and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it on in the background while I'm doing something else. And then I just found myself just fucking watching it and going, like, there's no audio, there's no dialogue. Like, you can get like some like there's okay, so one side has TV head people, and then speakers head people, and then TV camera head people. Cameras come first, TVs last. The TVs have like a discordant warble behind them, but they're all fighting the toilets, which get to kaiju sizes at one point, and it's really weird because I forget his name, but it's the guy from Half-Life, like the Wake Up Gordon, that guy. It's him. His face is distorted and used as like the primary villain. And I shit you not, I'm sat there watching it the entire time and I'm going, Jesus Christ, I get why Gen Zs get like all these accusations put against them. Because fuck, some of this shit's compelling. Like, it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. And I'm sat there going, what the actual fuck? No, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I literally got dragged into it. Because one YouTuber I know, one thing that one of his mates does, and he goes on to it because he's a bit more popular than him, is his mate does like reactions to TikToks and the like. So he literally brought him on for a 20-minute video of him watching and reacting to them. And I was tired. It was like 2 a.m. they posted it, and they're in Wales. So like they deliberately made that come up at like 2 a.m. at night because they're like, right, the cryptids will be on. They'll be fucking watching this. And there's my ass like, ah, shit, here I am. It's the weirdest fucking thing. And I'm sat there like, when's the next episode coming out? Because he does like 20, 30-second like videos, essentially. But I'll upload it to the YouTube like 3 times, because that's the upload he's doing to each of the other things. Like, he does a TikTok and an Instagram and the like, and it's all the different video settings. So you can end up like, if you put on the autoplay, it's like, ah shit, skip. I've seen all this on a different scale. It's annoying because it's really well made. Like, it's actually like incredibly well animated, and I'm sat there going, you literally took such a great skill and you're using it on actual toilet humor. Not like, you know, jokes about shit. Like, there's none of those, but like, this is literally humor about toilets. And I'm the fool who's watching it. Yeah, better that than the One Piece thing on Netflix. Blue, please break the silence.
I'm just sitting here just like, I like the addition of the orange.
Yeah.
It's like I like the yellow and like don't want to change it too much, so I was like, let's try adding orange for like a little bit of not contrast because it blends in, but just to add to it. I don't know if I'm settled on the marking or the nose.
If anyone wants me to shut up about anything, you can donate £30 to Blue, and I'll shut the fuck up for the rest of this.
This is gonna be like when people are doing subathons when they have like a little list in the top corner of like, if you do this, then I will do this. So it's like donate 30 quid to have Dash shut the fuck up.
Hey, shit, man! If it gets you £30, I will happily go quiet for the rest of the stream.
Aww.
Dead asking me why. Look, if someone gives you £30, I will mute my mic. And now I'm just glancing across just to make sure in case someone does, and I have to immediately shut my mic off.
A little stripe like that. That's kind of cute.
I'll just get like Joe Cat's little fucking goblin. I'll just do the TTS.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of streamers have TTS, and I did toy with like, should I get a TTS? I don't know.
You could have it with Ix.
If I had a TTS, I'd make it Kale.
Ah.
Kale is like Blue's companion.
You could also change it up in the future and just be like, Core, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and Blue, you're gonna get a migraine probably from me even saying this. The game theory video on the Skiddly toilets is not the true story. We all know that bastard just pulled shit out his ass. Yes, he did a video on toilets. 1 sec, I have to close my window.
Oh dear. I might consider leaving that there and try concepting a different one.
I was like, why can't I hear you talking? And then I went, oh, wait, never mind. I'm actually looking across at the screen and the screen's muted. I saw your avatar moving and heard no audio. I was like, huh? Wait, no, I actually can't hear you. What the fuck?
What did you do?
There we go. Now I can hear you. That was weird. I did nothing. I just couldn't hear you for a hot sec. I was like, I can see when your thing is moving, and I know that's like there's a delay, but I heard no audio before that came in. I was like, nani? So I'm a giant nerd, and I got excited because a bunch more models got revealed for Warhammer.
Oh, there we go. We made it to Warhammer. It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I've been painting them, and in fairness, So they're basically... This is the most, like, xenomorph queen from Alien-style monsters they revealed ever. In the way of, like, if you look at it and you put the queen next to it, you're like, ah, I can definitely see inspiration here. Like, more than any of the others, like the profile, the body type, the proportions, it all kind of leans into it. And they're very cool because the two that they released are essentially, you get one box, you build one of them from the box. But you do it because, like, these are super expensive and you'd only get one. Like, you wouldn't really need... If you brought 3 of these in any game, your opponent would hate you. You would also probably have had to spend about £225 just for 3 models.
Oof.
And I'm gonna melt them off the fucking board if you do. But they were shown off. Their models are now fully up for people to buy and the like, and they're all super cool. But now they're doing the Space Marine ones because they essentially announced that a bunch of their previous boxes were being taken off the website. They're like, yeah, you won't be able to order these anymore, guys. And they have pretty much a rule of, if we're not producing the models, we're not going to update rules for this anymore. These models will basically be converted to legends. So you'll always get an update for them at the start of each expansion, like, you know, every new edition. But that'll be it. They will not get any additional, like, love or attention from them. Because if they did, they'd probably have to do Space Marines like 200 fucking models. Like, they currently have 90 different model types that they have to do for Space Marines alone. And there are literally one faction of Space Marines who has more characters in this one sub-faction of Space Marines than entire other factions have of their entire named characters. It's actually absurd. But they've shown off the new ones, and I've talked about like a Terminator arm before. That's like the big, bulky, super cool. Like, these are the ones who teleport in, and they like shoot about with big, bulky gear and the like, and they're so cool, and all this stuff. They've revealed some more options with them, which is nice. And the thing they've also done is jump packs. So like, literally like the idea of, it's got a jump pack. He jumps around the field. He's incredibly fast, so they charge in. They hit you like a fucking truck. They've been revealed, and that's super cool as well. And some new scouts, which is kind of adorable in a way of, they're upscaled, so they're a bit tall. So they're matching the other models in regards to they don't just look like a bunch of guys who got compressed, or like, you know, if they're a PNG, they just got the top vertex just like pulled down and they just got squished, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they look like it, but they're actually like very thin and lithe looking because, I mean, they're scouts. They don't even have all their organs in yet. I realized what that sounded like and why that's... They haven't gone through full Space Marining yet. You get additional organs shoved in you. So they're a bit thinner in every way, shape, and form. And they look super cool, honestly. But I have made a really hard sell because, number one, there's a update to the rules coming this Thursday, actually, and they do it per quarter, so they're doing it next Thursday. This Thursday coming is the next big update, and they won't do one again basically until Christmas. Excuse me. And one of the factions in the game right now is essentially they're the Space Elves, the Eldari. They have a faction rule. So at the start of the game, you grab a bunch of dice, and you roll them. They're called Fate Dice. They're exclusively for the Eldari. What the Eldari do is, let's say they roll it and they get, and these are D6s, they get a 4, they get a 3, they get a 2, they get 3 6s, and they get like 3 or 4 1s. So they can pick up all the dice they don't want, subtract one of them away, which has to be like, they can choose any one. So like, oh, I've gotten like 5 1s, right? Throw away a 1. I'm going to grab the 4 1s I have left and these 2 2s and roll them and see if I get anything better. And they can keep doing this so long as they subtract 1 dice every time they re-roll. And you might say, well, what's the fucking purpose of these dice? Warhammer on the tabletop is a chance-based game. You roll the dice, and that's what happens. Did I roll the hit? Did you roll above the number you need to hit to do it? Here you go. These dice, when they roll, they can just say, yeah, no, I'm just going to instead choose this 6. I have now hit you. Or, one thing they can do, which is much worse, is a lot of stuff with the Eldari have... So there's hitting roll and the wounding roll. One is literally just to make sure, did I hit them? The second one is, did it go through their armor? When they're on the wounding thing, you can basically have a style of effect which just goes through. They can't resist it in any way. They're just going to take a bunch of damage from it. They can just choose, and only certain weapons have that. They can just choose, I'm going to give myself a 6, which means I do that thing for all the dice that I've gotten on that one character, and I've immediately blown off like 6 things off your board.
Yes,
Like,
correct.
Just immense amounts of damage. Immense amounts of fucking damage. To the point where, between that, and they get more of those at the start of every battle round. To the point that Eldari right now, so Space Marines and a bunch of other guys who are considered in the mere tier bracket are like, oh, they got like a 45% win rate at tournaments. GW want everyone to be about 50. If you're at 50, fantastic. Because that means anyone can go up against you and you have a 50-50 odds, roughly, to beat them. Which, you know, that's the way you want it to be. You don't want it to be like, well, this one's Goomba stomping everyone. Problem is, these guys are Goomba stomping everyone. And their win rate currently at major tournaments is 69%. Which it's not nice. Unfortunately. It's not nice, unfortunately.
Nice.
Because they're like, okay, here's our grand tournament. Here's our biggest tournament of like this section of the year. The first place winner was an Eldari player. The second place winner was an Eldari player. The third place winner was an Eldari player.
Oh dear.
This repeated until it was the guys who were at 65%, I think, on like position 7. And there's only one faction that's winning at like that percentage, and that's only because legitimately they're a faction who are really difficult to play. But when people know what they're doing with that faction, they're fucking unstoppable. Like they have to roll badly because they're very good with their tactics, kind of thing. Like they have to fail at their tactics where you have to succeed at yours, kind of thing, because they're really good players with that skill set. That's the fairest way to describe the Gene Stealers. So everyone's looking at it going, okay, Gene Stealers need something done to them because they're at a 65% win rate. That's still too high. The next highest down is 55, which are the Custodes, which are the SWAT of Space Marines, and that we are better than literally all of you at anything martial. We are so busted that the Emperor liked us more than some of the Primarchs and got more upset when we died than some of his actual fucking sons. They're entirely busted. As is everything in 40k, but to a different scale. So everyone's looking at this data pass going, okay, I don't expect much to actually happen with the Space Marines. And the reason I don't think it will is because their codex is being previewed on the same day. So unless they're like leading into their systems being changed with the codex, I don't imagine much is going to get done with them. Because it also shouldn't be. If their codex is about to come out, which it is, it'll be, I believe, on pre-order this Thursday, and it'll be available then next week. One of the two. They don't need anything else right now. But they need to do so much with those elves. And I don't know how they're going to nerf them, but they need to nerf them hard, whatever they choose to fucking do. It's just, here's guaranteed results in a chance-based game. Can't fight it. I had to play against one, and it was literally depressing to play against them. But I played against a guy on... Friday last week, and he was a newer player. He's only played 2 games. He was playing Space Marines, but he had brought a knight. They're the giant mechas, which in canon can be anywhere between between 40 foot tall to 100 meters tall. And yes, I changed like scaling on the comparison there for a reason. There are models that are so big, that they are dead ass. If you put them like the scaling they use for models in the game, some of them will literally be from floor to ceiling tall to match their actual in-game scaling. They're fucking absurd. But this guy, he has one, and it's basically about, I want to say it's about like 2-3 foot, like 2 foot tall, like maybe 1.5 foot tall. And it's just stomping around the board, and I'm like, I actually can't kill this fucking thing. It's too durable. And my problem is that you might say, okay, I can't kill it. Right. Get the fuck away from it and just let it rampage in the corner, and while it does that, I get everything else. I didn't do that because, of course, my Unga Bunga brain went, bring on the big thing. Ree! So, take out big thing. Ree! So, I lost the game.
Oopsie.
But we had a lot of fun, which is all that matters. That's what I say every time I lose. Oh yeah, winning doesn't matter. It's only about having fun. I only say when I lose. And I say it when I win as well, but in my head I'm like, I win a video game. I have been on a losing streak with that game, and it's quite sad.
Sage.
Actually, no, I need to water this down. Speaking of water, take a sip.
Sippy! this one is definitely going to be more experimenting. So
Yeah.
I have a version of the flugel that I wear, but it automatically just made it light blue, and I think that's more me just making a version of me for the avatar, whereas this is more me making a character, which uses this avatar as a base.
Yeah.
So I'll probably keep my blue one as me, and then this one will be an actual like a different character. So
Yeah.
much like with this little guy, like this guy is the character. Like for all of these bases, I probably will have versions of them that will be me, and they will be blue, and then I will try to have versions that aren't just, try not to make every character blue,
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So, let's put down like the default colors that the flugel comes with.
Also, folks, I'm gonna make a shout out. If anyone tries to like donate in another stream and say, "Oh, your co-host has to shut up," it only works on me. Carl's, Dan, Spook are all immune to it because they can just get up, drive, and physically, well, ideally with Carl's in the future, will physically be next to her in like 2 seconds and be like, "I'm just gonna talk through her mic now." Oh, there's one as well that I don't think I was on to talk about. They have announced a new from Warhammer Plus, which is basically their streaming service, which they do actually have a few content creators on, like artists and the like, who they've previously either gone, "Hi, DMCA strike," or "Just work for us." Which, in fairness, it's like, actually, yeah, I will just work with you. Like, there's a few of them that are actually really good who've been hired on by them, and I'm like, oh god, these guys made such great work when they were by themselves. The fuck are they going to be able to make with all you guys supporting them? Fuck me. But one of them is basically, the Bony Boys, the Necrons, the hello, we're space robots, and we don't care. We're just going to keep getting back up to fuck, basically. Bunch of them, and they're attacking humans. They're attacking the Imperium. And it's like, oh, well, when's the Space Marine going to show up? It's going to be another Ultramarine coming in to save it the day. It's going to be a blue boy. And then I pause and I go, that guy's in green. Wait a second, that guy's in green. Wait a second, that's a fucking dragon on his shoulder. That's a salamander. So my faction ends up being one of the guys who's going to be coming in and helping out the humans in this next thing they're doing. And I'm like,
neat.
Yes, my boys are getting wrapped.
Me when I see a Jex. The tail wagging is real.
Pretty much. Even to the point of like, look, it's a scaly, yay! But it's actually like the best type of Space Marine to put in, because you can be like, well, okay, Space Marines are super strong, so why is there any issues in the plot at all? These guys should be able to just like, especially a Salamander, who are physically, based on their Primarch, who was the biggest Primarch, as in the only one who could look the Emperor in the eye. And even then he wasn't as tall as him, but he was the closest to it being it. It's like, how can these guys have any real challenge in this setting? Surely there will be nothing that can challenge them. It's like, au contraire. Because, oh no. Well, you now have a golden backpack because you fell directly into the gold paint. Whoops. That's how you can do it. You can drop them in the gold paint. And they can.
Oops.
But these guys essentially are all about like trying to save as many civilian lives as possible. So the easiest thing to do is, oh, you're trying to focus on saving so many lives? You can either fight me or jump on this grenade I'm about to throw on these people. And the Salamander will jump on that grenade. There'll be a big, like, dull thud, an explosion. He'll jump a little bit. And then he'll get back up limping. And definitely in a much worse case of wear, but he will take that grenade to the chest to save a bunch of civilians. It's been a fun little description I've seen of them before, where it's like, considering how much it costs to make Space Marines in their setting, it's the equivalent of like an F-32 Raptor, like a really modern day high tech Raptor, like a super plane, literally nose diving a location to save one person. It's like, okay, cool thing you did. Holy fuck, was that expensive? Please don't do that again. And they just go, I'm gonna fucking do it again. So I'm excited. My boys are gonna show up in the thing.
Yeah.
And the in combat animations they've shown off so far look good. And they've actually done something quite good, which is they've made the Space Marine look uncanny. Which might sound weird because we actually don't see his face. When I say uncanny, I mean you know how like in shows and like stuff like that, when a robot is taking shots at people, it does it in a way that's like that's not human.
Right. Okay.
It's that in that way of they've nearly got like hacks in the way of how fast they're responding to something. It's like that. That's the best example for it. The other side as well is, of course, it's the idea of this thing is a guy who, outside of this suit, probably stands at like 10 foot tall minimum, running faster than like could actively catch a car. Like could run up to a car, catch it at the back legs kind of thing. Which is why, of course, in Space Marine Super Future stuff, everything moves stupid fast and make ultra mega speeds. But you throw one of those guys into like most modern or other sci-fi settings, they can keep up with like a Warthog in Halo, and that's not hyperbole. Hell, they could probably tip one of the fucking things. It's just they've made it so like something attacks him basically, and as it does, he's already got the sword out, and the chainsword just revs, and it's an ugly noise because of course it's a chainsaw. That's gonna sound like a creepy thing. It's the only time most people associate a chainsaw in like any media is a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, and it's just one quick stroke straight through a guy, and it's like, oh dear God, he cut that like it was nothing, and then he immediately shoots somebody super quick. And it's not a oh my God, it's so mega cool. It's more of a oh fuck, you did that too quickly. Oh, that's scary.
Right. I get you.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna post it here, and of course, I would actually advise people look it up for fun. Look up like the wrestler Brock Lesnar running, because that guy is like 6'8" or something like that. He's a big guy. He's like nearly 300 pounds or 285. He's huge. Like his neck has like wider than my leg. Watch him run, and you go, that man is too big to be moving that fast. That's the kind of thing I mean. Like, you should not be able to physically move that fast. That is terrifying. What's up?
When it comes to like thinking up patterns and things, that's like a not one of my strong suits. This is when I sort of go over and I start looking over at like other things for inspiration.
Like animals and like how does this animal have this kind of patterning or
Not even like animals. Even like if anything, I'll be looking more at fantasy for inspiration.
Hmm. They had a big event late last week as well where they showed off those models, and they showed off a model for one of the demon Primarchs in it, and it's like, oh my god, that's Fulgrim. That's a character that's not yet been represented yet in 40k. That's amazing. They've actually revealed his model. This is huge for Chaos Marine players. This is huge. And then they go, Horus Heresy only, which is an entirely different gaming system. It's basically the equivalent of saying, hey guys, here's a new class we're introducing for Pathfinder. And it's like, thanks, we hate it. Like, immediately, everyone was immediately just gone from, yay, to, boo. Like, I looked back at the chat just because I heard people lost their minds about it, and I'm like, because they didn't show it that it was Horus Heresy first. They showed off the model and then said it was Horus Heresy. But they've said it will not be compatible with 40k, and everyone then goes, but this is what he's meant to look like in 40k. Like, does his form change since? Has something additionally happened to him? The only thing that's happened to that character is one of his sons that he basically found a bunch of loyalists and were like, hey, we're about to betray the Emperor, so let's go kill all these loyalist sons so they don't get in the way of it. So they did. And one of them was a guy in a dreadnought suit called Rylanor. That's somebody who's died and gotten turned into the suit so that they can keep fighting, more or less. Like, oh, you've been mortally wounded? Tough shit, get in the suit. But it was seen as like a mark of honor more than anything else. It was like, oh yeah, you've earned your battle laurels. You are that guy. You have been a veteran. You can be highly respected. And Rylanor was one of those kind of old guard boys. The planet gets fucked up. Because they're like, okay, our sons are down there. Perfect. Let's nuke them.
Oh dear.
Which they do. And a lot of them get to bunkers and then get out. And Rylanor is organizing a lot. Like, he is legitimately a fucking problem. But one of the world leaders, so that's the guys who work for the big angry guy, literally comes out and challenges his father and says, oh dear, we've got an unknown connection error. Try restarting Meep.
Meep up. Whoops.
Lou, would you kill yourself? How dare. My dear, that was my job.
Shut up and go back to Warhammer.
Marvelous, will do. Crumble in Warhammer is not something I want to imagine. Daz, memes.
Memes? What memes?
He just showed me 2 cats. It's like, oh, those are cute. I'm allergic to cats. Anyway, that would not stop me stuffing my face in there.
Aww.
That would not stop me stuffing my face and cuddling with those things, but I will just immediately die.
No reboot emote. You can use the stare emote.
Yeah, I just used the stare emote. So, one of the angry guys challenges his dad, who comes down, which then the guy who was actively preparing the next nuke goes, oh, for fuck's sake, he went down? Fuck, we have to go down there now and fight them because I can't nuke him. Because if I do, everyone's going to be pissed at me. Not that he didn't want to nuke him, just he was aware everyone would be mad at him if he did. Because that's the equivalent of nuking the party's barbarian. It's like, yes, he's a meathead. Fuck, is he going to be incredibly useful, though? Which he is. Where 2 of his brothers are about to be killed by one of the strongest of the loyalist Primarchs later on in the setting. And they're like, yeah, I'm injured, but I could still take both of you. And then Angron is just barreling towards him on the battlefield, and he's like, I can't take him! I can't fucking take him! That motherfucker will bench press me! So, essentially, they have to go down and fight a bunch of them. Now, the one thing that is noticed is that Rylanor was never found. His body was never found.
You know what that means.
Yes.
No one. If there's no body, then you cannot prove that person is dead.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, this is a guy who's basically in a dreadnought. He's in a giant robot suit. So, he actually tanked to the face the nukes and went, bitch. Like, his suit was not damaged, so the infection from the virus bomb it's worse than just a standard nuke. It's also a virus bomb. Didn't affect him. So there were other virus bombs that were meant to be detonated, and they all went miraculously missing. And then there were kill teams sent to hunt down other loyalists, including him. Because what Rylanor did was, there was essentially a starport on that location, on that planet, that had not yet been secured by the traders. And Rylanor stood at the gates while people were trying to get to it, and just shouted for every loyalist who could possibly get on a ship to get on a ship. And just fucking gunned. Don't get me wrong, he got bodied the moment Angron started showing up, because again, that's a Primarch, he's going to body him. But he escapes, and then kill teams get sent from the Emperor's Children, which is the faction he's from, to find him and kill him. Nothing happens, and literally 10,000 years go by. Until a message gets sent out into the ether, sent from Istavan 3, which is the planet. The Ancient awaits. Rylanor was known as the Ancient of Rights. So anyone who knows who he is goes, well, fuck, there's only one guy with a title like that. Shit. Now, there's people who literally don't know what this planet is anymore because it's been scoured. The guy whose boys are all psychers goes, hey, 3 of you, go down there and see what the fuck's going on. I'm not going to be anywhere in the system, I'm just sending you off to go do this. They go off and do it, and basically they feel an immense psychic pressure. Like, oh, there is an ancient presence here, we gotta figure out what the fuck this is, because it could be something very useful. And they find, in a bunker, one leg is missing, there is half a company, so, about 50 guys, of traitor Marines. Now, bear in mind, these guys who are down there are traitors, but of a different brand. Just sprawled out in front of a dreadnought, and the dreadnought looks entirely shut down, like it's dead. One gets close enough, and he just immediately gets, grabbed, and his armor gets half crushed immediately, while the equivalent, like a minigun, in that way of how it spins, it just begins rearing up, and he's just aimed at the other 2. And going, who are you? Because at this point, when this happened to this guy, these guys had not yet become traitors. So he was like, alright, who do you serve? Don't bullshit me, who the fuck do you serve? And there's a reason why Rylanor was put down there to be killed, was because he literally can tell when you're lying. So the traitors would have a lot of issue with him. With all their lying and scheming and deceiving. And he's like, nah, I know you're talking shit, what the fuck's going on? So these guys are like, okay, let's be really careful with our words. And he's going, I know you're being careful with your words. The fuck you doing down here? And he nearly kills the guy he's got in his hand. He's like, I'm not playing. I've got no reason to play. Because they're like, well, I mean, you sent out the message, so we're here. He's like, I didn't send it for you. At this point, Fulgrim, the guy whose model got revealed, shows up. As if he was literally waiting for the most dramatic moment, because he is literally a dramatic bitch. It is actually a character flaw of his. He's a dramatic bitch. And he goes, oh, was that for me, my son? Very well, then I'm now here. Please, tell me, what was it that you brought me here for? And as he's beginning to monologue, he just goes, haha, got you. He drops the guy from his hand and just slams a massive button next to him. And behind him, you see about 5 virus bombs light up.
Oh, wow.
So 5 nukes are about to go off in this guy's face, and bear in mind, if he wasn't a Demon Primarch, this would kill him. But the Space Marines are all psychers, and they're the best type of psychers. They're really, really good at their job. So they literally make a bubble. Just that stops. It's just a moment of time just gets stopped in front of them. It's entirely useless because it's just 1 second, but it's just enough to stop the bombs from going off. And all of them are throwing everything they've got into this thing to stop it from going off, shit. It's the equivalent of 3 20th level mages spamming time stop. Just going, no, fuck. Rylanor goes, alright, I can't kill you like that. So he just loads up his gun and he aims it at him and just starts blasting this guy in the chin. But he's got no chance. And he gets ripped out of his suit, which is going to kill him. He gets entirely ripped out of his suit. by him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll make you new, my son. I'll perfect you. I'll do all these things. You have a chance. Come back to my side now." And he just goes, "No, I am Rylanor, of the Ancient of Rights, of the Emperor's children, and loyal to the Emperor of mankind, beloved by all. I defy you now and always. You betrayed your sons. The only thing that will be shared between us is that we are both going to die here." And he is entirely dead, and his fear is palpable in the room, but so is his will. And the Thousand Sons are like, wow, this guy is willing to do this to his sons. Because bear in mind, Magnus, everything that their Primarch did, which led them down to evil, was actively trying to save their lives. Like, he was actively trying to save his sons' lives, legitimately. Like, he actually was trying. This guy could not give a shit and has done far worse things to his sons, which cannot actually be talked about. And it's like, oh, you are literally the worst example of any person ever. You are like the most despicable human being. And one of the characters is the character that this is the POV of, because of course, you can't use Rylanor's POV, because otherwise the reveal of, "Aha, I'm still alive, gotcha bitch," isn't as cool. So he then shouts out to Fulgrim and goes, "Primarch Fulgrim, Rylanor deserves better than you. He deserves better than all of us." And he relieves his brothers from duty by shooting them both in the back of the head. Because he levels his pistol at Fulgrim, but then turns it and just takes out both his brothers. His brothers, who were the ones focusing on the spell. So the bombs go off. And so there's things about, was this 10,000 years ago? Was this 9,000 years ago? Or was this 1,000 years ago? Because whichever way it was, it takes quite literally all that time for Fulgrim to regenerate himself in the warp to come back. And it has left him physically and emotionally scarred by the one time he was truly defied by one of his sons. So people think that event and the scars he bears from it are what his new model's going to look like. And he's going to look like older and cooler and more badass. But so many people got so pissed off. They're like, what the fuck do you mean this gorgeous model can't be used in 40k? What the fuck is this shit? Bullshit. Also, Rylanor is one of my favorite characters. He looks at his dad and says, "No, fuck you," and tries to blow him up. It's like, why are they trying to kill off this one particular? Looks at everything he did. Ah, that's why they tried to kill him off, because they knew he was going to be a pain in the ass. Also, fun note. The last narrative point given to those guys who the POV of is in this story was that they were accepted back into the Emperor's light. As in, Rylanor literally redeemed 3 traitor Astartes, and probably also himself in that moment. So there's a fun legion that gets thrown around a lot. They're called the Legion of the Damned. They're essentially Space Marines who are loyal, who basically come back like Ghost Rider. There is no explanation as to where they come from, which there shouldn't be. There is no explanation as to who commands them, which there shouldn't be. But they fight in the space, in basically like in 40k's equivalent of like magical hell / heaven / space. They fight in there, and sometimes they appear out of it to fuck up whoever they need to that's around them. For example, there was one moment where the big blue Boy Scout who's back right now, who's one of the main good guys, was about to get his absolute shit pressed in by a lot of demons who were showing up, because they were all like, "Oh, you're back. You need to go away now. You can't be back. If you come back, you're going to cause us so many problems." So they all try to jump him, and this legion shows up and goes, "Nah, fam." Now again, yeah, they are a Deus Ex Machina, but the reason I'm talking about them is they're only made up of loyal Astartes. So, Fulgrim killed the first Primarch to ever die was killed by Fulgrim. And he had his head cut off by Fulgrim. There is theories, headcanons, and other discussions that a headless warrior leads the Legion of the Damned and has a mighty dreadnought with him, which bears a banner upon its back, which is what Rylanor does. So everyone is thinking, please, please let it be canon that Rylanor and Ferris come back and they just kick the shit out of Fulgrim together. They just actively keep showing up whenever Fulgrim doesn't kick his head in. Just like, hey, you fucked us over in life. We're gonna be so annoying for you now. Should have kept us alive and entombed. That way we can't die and come back and kick your ass, you fucker. Ugh. It's one of those ones where it's like, this is entirely a fan theory, but fuck, would it be fun if it was true.
That's just a theory. A fan theory.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, I did sneeze. What?
The floof snozzed.
What?
She had a little snizzle. I nearly have these models done, which makes me happy. They
Oh, yeah.
just basically need their steels done, as in things which are colored steel, and then some weathering done, and their eyes, and that will be it. Oh, that's a fun thing as well about that new 40K series as well. That'll be quite cool. Is there are people who have different theories on what. So, salamanders have skin which is sometimes described as Vanta black, in that way of it is an incredibly deep black, but it's caused so by a mutation that occurs on their home planet. And as such, the gene seed that's affecting them also causes it. Now, that's not the only black characters in the setting, because of course it isn't. They actually have really great representation in a lot of modern books. Because they're like, no, look, here's a bunch of them with their helmets off. See? Look. From every walk of life, you can become a space marine. Unless you're a woman. Everyone wants that fixed. That was actually like a really funny note, but before I go on to it, essentially, the new series, they haven't shown the helmet off of the salamander yet, but it will show how to do basically, it'll be a great example for people how to do their eyes, which are naturally red. Well, unnaturally, but they're all standardly red. And what complexion to use for their skin tone on this example. It won't be the only one, but it'll be a fun one. But the Emperor has a guy called Malkador. He was basically the easiest way to describe him is like he's like the Emperor's Zao is actually a fair way to say it. In I've got a problem, this mad bastard somehow fixed it. And he looks like he should be the shadiest motherfucker ever. You literally don't have anyone who's more loyal. You literally don't have anyone who's like more ride or die for you or more loyal in your life. It's legitimately like a really good guy. Malkador is in books, like in canon books written by 40K, actively has said before, the Emperor was a fool, we should have hired from women as well. We literally should have recruited from women as well. There's no reason to. He literally just wanted a bunch of sons. That was the only reason. And I do not like that was his only reason. Like, this is the Emperor's right-hand man saying, nah, my man was off, we should have femme space marines too. Which I just find to be hilarious, because I know how many people that annoys. Let them be annoyed. Yes, literally die mad. This is literally the Emperor's right-hand man, the guy that he literally respects more than some of his sons, if not all of his sons, to the point where he can scald the Primarchs like their uncle, because he basically is. And just go, you know what? You should have had more women. Literally, it's the scene from like Lego Star Wars where they're like, oh yes, and I know about my sister. Yes, it is Lego. It's like, how do you know? There's like 2 women in the entire franchise. It only makes sense. She's talking about around your age. Wow, yeah, that's kind of obvious. There isn't really that many women. No, that is problem. We should fix that next time. I'm like, yes, thank you for having Yoda say it. No one's gonna talk shit about Yoda saying it. Right, I have finished painting, so I'm going to decompress. And I'm going to post up in the art channel my boys, because I'm actually kind of proud of how tidy they look. Let's see, when was the last? Oh, the last one I painted up were my Terminators, which the more I look at, the more I like, because I kind of gave them a cool coal style effect on their stuff, which I kind of like.
Neat.
Not kidding. I'm going to post these, because there's the whip I had of them last time, and there's the updated 2 pictures then after that. And even I got more of them done today and got to a stage where I'm happy with them. But we'll be doing the silvers, and then we'll be doing the flamethrowers and the like, and doing their coloring atop of it. Because, fun fact, you actually have to use purple to get the burnt metal look. A tyrant!
Ooh!
Okay, catch. Ultra ball. Give me that little man. I want that boy. Give me that boy. I feel like I need to, in the future, do it where I post a picture of what I started with during the day and where I ended with it, so I can feel a bit better on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Progress shots are always good.
Let's see what other. Also, one of my friends who I play against online, essentially there's a whole thing of, well, how do you beat this faction? It's like, essentially they do like a blob of characters who keep regenerating each other, like a necromancy kind of thing, of the necromancer gets this up, and then he's got these 2 bodyguard thralls that take hits, and then they got a powerful unit of lich guard. How do you get through it? Well, I found out a system of doing it with another melee unit. We got the boy.
Yay, we both got one!
Yeah. So, most characters can have 5 attacks. That's a solid number of attacks for a melee-based character. There's a method you can do where you can give a character the system of precision. This means you can target characters that are in a unit of an enemy. Otherwise, you have to get through their bodyguard unit first. You know, like, you can't attack the commander, everyone is literally going to get in your way kind of thing. But you can do a thing to give yourself precision, which lets you go at the characters. I have found a system of, now you can only do this once per battle, but get a character up to 11 attacks, all of which are very solid or very strong, and essentially, how it works is you designate the target of your attack, and then you roll. Then you decide if it wounds, then you allocate the wound roll. So, okay, there's this unit, I'm going to attack this unit, I roll to hit, okay, now I roll to wound. Now I'm going to accolade the wound. And you can do this dice by dice on characters, because this is how it works. Because I actually looked at people and they explained it to me that this is actually how it works, and I went, holy shit, this is exactly what I needed. So you do that, and you just dice through the character, because you keep rolling, because you get 11 attacks, and you're like, okay, I'm going to target this character. And it's like, alright, now, this particular army can get characters back up. So this is usually not a fun or a sensible strategy, because they'll just get back up. Except, you can continue to allocate attacks, but you don't have to stop, like, waste any of your attacks if the character dies, because they immediately get back up. They don't get back up as they do in other factions, like at the end of the fight phase. It's like, no, he immediately will get back up. So you can just, like, smack down this ghoul, like this lichy robot man, and just like hold your sword over and go, get the fuck back up. Do it. Get the fuck back up. I'll just hit you again. And if he chooses not to do it, you then just target his other character. You do the same on him. And you just do it until you blend most of them. The rest of the unit blends his now bodyguarded less peoples, which don't have any of their buffs anymore. And you just dice the unit. Because if you kill the whole unit in one fell swoop, he can't get anything back up. And it's like, oh, that was your main gimmick for slowing me down. Now what? And he just sat there going, fuck. He's like, I only was this vindictive in figuring out the strategy because it is so... It's like grinding against just stone. It is so boring to play against that like clumped tactic. It's just an unfun opponent that you just go ringe through it and go, now what? It's like, well, shit. I don't know what to do now. I'm kind of in trouble. And like, yeah, get it up yet. And then the rest of his army just blows up that unit that you just threw at that thing. But that's fine. They've done their job. They stopped his melee blob that you couldn't have killed otherwise. And you just accept your fate, like the start of Final Fantasy XIV when the guy just gets blasted with the fucking Bahamut strike.
Yep.
I'll post this to 600 social medias.
What?
I just have to post the pictures up on my Warhammer painting. So.
Yeah, I've got a lot of social media, like, stuff I have to do in the background.
Hold the fuck up. Oh shit, Blue.
Hmm? What?
So there's somebody that both me and Stacy follow called Tiggy. I did post up, hey, if you have a free one that you're not going to use, could you please send it to me?
Ooh. Yo, let's go!
So, you know what you're doing this evening. Once you finish your stream, you gotta...
No, see, now this is the hard choice, because which one do I make first?
You gotta make your Skywolf. You gotta make your creative. You gotta...
Do I make Blue Sky, or do I make Skywolf Creations?
I'd say make Skywolf Creations later. Use that, make Skywolf Creations later. And the reason I say that is... It's your professional one, get it up, get it going, and then you can have your private one afterwards, which you can give yourself after the fact.
Yeah, Skywolf Creations is the professional one.
No, that's what I mean. Get your professional one up first.
Oh, okay.
Then later on, get up your personal one.
Yeah, but
because you'll have your professional up and
as
running.
some people have said to me, it's like, because of my username, it's like, how long is that going to remain available? And I'm like, shit. I want my username to get stolen.
Then go and get Skywolf Creations.
No, the other username, because it's the name of the website.
I know, but... Well, yeah, I mean, you could just probably, like, link to your Twitter from it. Because they don't have a thing of, oh, you're referencing the other site.
True.
It doesn't have DMs or anything yet. But, like, the dear friend, thank you, by the way. If you happen to watch this stream, thank you. You are a gem.
Thank you!
You're a good being. Thank you, Tiggy.
Yeah.
They are a good gem.
It feels so shitty to be, like, in the situation of, like, hi, I'm in the market for a second code if anybody has one.
Got one, shush.
I will not shush! It is my livelihood!
That's why I'm saying, bring your livelihood across first. Like, I tell you what, bring your livelihood across, use the @Skywolf thing as your, like, code, like how I have, for example, on mine, I have dazak.bsky.social. Make that Skywolf Creations, but put Blue Sky at the top, and then once you get your second code, just make it Skywolf Creations, and then put up Blue Sky as your own one.
I think I get
so that way you're getting both.
Yeah, the hope is that I'll get both painlessly.
Yeah, but
yeah.
The choice is yours. I can only influence. I got you one.
Oh no, a decision! Ah!
Oh no! Look who's struggling to make a decision now, fucker.
Hey, I made it. My comment earlier was for comedic value.
Yeah, true.
Maybe I'm going too heavy on the stripes. Take every other one away.
Only you can decide how many is too many.
Yeah, so putting patterns and markings on thing is not a strong point of mine. You'll notice that a lot of my characters actually don't have like markings, quote unquote. They're all plain. Blue is a flat colour, Tala is a flat colour, even Kika is kind of just flat colours.
Ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them. If you did, and all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. A rocket man. A rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long.
Also, I did make up those really tough Terminators, the ones that have like shields and hammers that I've been posting, and I played with them last Friday, and they were just like a thing of, again, he had like a super mega melee mech. It took him running that into them to kill them, and it's like, okay, it took that to kill him, because everything else was like, oh, I'll just like shoot at it with these 2 units, it's fine. What do you mean I only killed one of them? It's like the other 5 are just angrily staring across like, you have now made yourself a target. Come here. We just want to talk. We just want to talk. Lifting hammer ominously. We just want to talk.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
When family ring you at 20 to or 10 to 11 and asking you how you're getting on, I want to do a check and go, oh, I'm doing fine. I've just had a migraine all day, and I've been up since 2 a.m. and I haven't been. This is me telling them to scare them away.
Do not interact.
Do not interact. I will just call you a bitch. And it will not be affectionately. It will be derogatory. What are you thinking about with your floofy friend?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I do like that or not. I don't know why I decided on purple as the colour scheme, but that is what I ended up doing.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's like, oh, have you had one before? It's like, that's not the question I'm trying to get off of you. I want you to leave me the fuck alone.
They look nice side by side. Thank you.
Yeah.
So in the character zone in my head, the little guy is the cleric and the flugel is the paladin. So if they look nice next to each other, I like that because they are
Just make Hurry and Thane furries.
they are similar in nature.
Make Hurry more of a furry.
I mean, I told you before how there's someone who is actually making like a Swablu. Someone who is making a Volpera-esque base.
Yeah.
This person. They're currently working on this little guy.
Yeah, it's a little guy. They are, in fact, a little creature.
Very cute. This person's made a lot of cute stuff. They, for those who are in VRC regularly, if you know of Hobkins, this person makes Hobkins, but they've made a bunch of other ones as well. There's the Hobkin.
Hopkin the Boplin.
Yeah, remember earlier in the stream how I said, like, originally I was going to do the Jex as a monk, but now I want to do the Jex as a ranger? This is now my new, one that I'm thinking for the monk, because obviously the outfit helps a lot. Oh yeah, they also did the Chipori. I didn't realize the person who did the Hobkin and Chipori was the same person. Chipori are very cute. Little birds. Yeah, I do like Chipori, but as I said earlier, I was like, they don't fit the Delmara vibe, so they're not suitable for the rogue character. So they're too cute and adorable.
They look too sweet.
They're too sweet.
They're great for a young Delmara before she gets
Yes.
the bad things.
Yes. That would be accurate.
Oh Christ. I posted oh Lord. I posted up the miniatures, and when I did, two people at the exact same second posted the exact same GIF. That's a salamander GIF from Texas Beach Emperor, which is a whole series that's been going on for years. And it's the exact same yes kind of thing.
As I said before as well, this is literally like sketching them out on paper because I can't technically stream them just yet. But you know, if my brain ADHD is enough and I don't get around to doing these for like 3 months, then eventually I will be able to stream doing them. I will have a program because Adobe will stop being a piece of shit. They won't stop being a piece of shit, but time will be on my side.
Please leave me the fuck alone, woman. I've already googled all this. I know she's trying to be helpful, but I'm just like, please stop. I will give you a 4-minute warning.
Fair.
What the fuck? I feel like this is going to re-induce my migraine. Someone designed Columbo as if he was a Kingdom Hearts character.
Oh my god.
The problem is that he looks like he actually belongs, and he genuinely looks like that character who keeps showing up that's pseudo goofy, but instead he's actually just like going to carry the whole thing by the end, which is incredibly fitting for Columbo. He literally does the, one more thing, Mr. Seymour.
Oop, thank you for the reminder for Dwink. Thankfully, over here there wasn't as much cloud cover today, so I think some of the heat has left now that the sun's set. So that's the worst combo of when it's like boiling sun in the day, but then there's a lot of cloud cover at night because the clouds trap all the heat in.
Yeah.
So if you get a clear summer night, then you're like, yeah.
I did just see somebody else post up, "Hey, I've got 2 blue sky codes. Who needs them?" And I just went psst, to Simi. I just went psst, 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 psst. Hey, go over there. Look. Look.
Tentatively waves.
No, you've got one.
I need 2 though.
Fucking build your own. Look, you got one.
It's not my fault.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, don't. No, I'm not.
No, not you. The other sister's fucking texting me.
You should just send the same text to both of them, which is, I'm going to bed now because I have a migraine. Please don't message me. I'm trying to sleep. Turns off phone.
Here's the problem. I'm gonna get rang by 3 different people going, "How dare you?" Ugh.
Turns off phone.
Right. I have to deal with one of these soon, so. Try to be somewhat civil.
Thank you. Very cool. Doodles in the background music. Yes. Oh my god. Yes. If you use Spotify, then you should follow Besso. Besso did a whole album of Pokemon lo-fi.
Pesto is a very good musician, is an excellent vibe person.
Yeah, they're also just a sweetie because they are a genuine friend.
One sec there. I'm just gonna. There is a link to his Spotify. If you want to
Thank
look
you.
at anything, there you go.
Cool.
But
I'm
for
not
now,
some
folks-
kind of wizard who has 500,000 commands programmed in. You know, there's a limit to how many commands I can make, right?
Right. I'm gonna leave you be.
Yeah, you sound like you need to go to bed and not be
Yes.
for a while.
I need to not.
Yeah,
I need to
you
not.
sound like you need to not be for a while, but to be fair, it is 11, so I should.
Yeah. Yes, as should you. Folks, do bully her if it gets past quarter past. Thank you. Night, everyone. Do take care. Blue is eventually going to have a blue sky location. Whether or not for her sky wolf or not will be irrelevant.
One
However,
or other they'll be made. Yeah, now that I've got a code. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for everyone who is jumping ship. Thank you for keeping me company tonight.
nice, and it was my pleasure. And
Yes,
thank you for letting me just go off because happens sometimes. Oh, my shoulders just clicked, and Christ, did it
Yes,
feel
you
good.
need to turn your phone off and go to bed.
Fuck, I need to.
Yeah, take time for yourself. Take it easy. You've had a rough day, so I really appreciate you coming because you really did not have to after having such a naff day.
We're here now. And
Ah.
it made me focus on painting, so we win. Right. Love you and leave you. See ya. Good night, everyone.
Bye. How long till I need to start throwing balls? Adas's estimate was fine. 15 minutes, I guess. I basically want to see how far I can get with this sketch. Like, I'm not going to try to colour it, but I'd like to maybe get the sketch done so I can put colours on it. Because the main point of these sketches is to test out colours, not necessarily to actually do the drawing. Thank you. Hello! Hello, cute Faith. How are you doing? That emote is so good. I forgot about the Sadie. I can't believe nobody used the Sadie emote tonight. I just realized that Discord, Discord will be like, you're in a call and you're not doing anything, so we're just gonna DC you. Sadie for raiding. The models on Quaggy, the legs on, I was about to say the models on Quaggy's legs, the legs on Quaggy's models are really nice. They also have quite large, defined beans on the feet. I want to say sading, but it doesn't feel right. Sading? No. No. Target was too small, could not do it. I think chat died for a sec. It doesn't say that I dropped this time, even though we did drop the other day. So I don't know if that is on your end or not. That really confused me. I'm still confused why we had those drops the other day, because we shouldn't. It didn't drop, but it gave me a reconnecting to chat thing. Ooh. I'm unsure, chat. I'm unsure which I should do first on the app. Like, the business one is technically more important, but I feel like I would be more upset if I didn't get my other username. They're ready to have color concepts put on them. Edit. Girl. Dragon. Rico. Lyric. The personal one is preferred, I think. I'm making more spelling mistakes than normal, might have to nap. I do approve of naps. The funny thing about this, the model for this, is that lots of people call it the Recore, but I don't think that is technically its name. But if you do search Recore, it does come up. It's small. It is a small. Literally a pocket healer. Yeah! Litten. Ghost. Blaze, which is all one word. Personal one is preferred. See, that's the thing. Like I need the bit. I guess if I feel like I've already made the decision and I'm trying to persuade myself. Like the business one is more important technically, but when you think about it, because it's a new social media platform, there's not as many people on it. So even if I did make the quote-unquote business account, would people see it? Maybe not. So maybe I should take the personal one just because I would be more upset if I lost that username. Because, like, Skyward Creations I already don't have on Twitter, technically. The Twitter link for Skyward Creations is S-Wolf Creations. Technically. I'm literally trying to persuade myself.
You're the one that's changed. You're the one that's...
I asked a friend and they gave me an answer that I didn't like, so now I am trying to justify it. Also, yes, Core, it is quarter past. In reality, it's not something I should even deal with tonight. I should deal with it tomorrow. Yeah. The sooner I make the account, the sooner I might get another invite code, and then I can give an invite code to myself and get another invite. Identity is more important than work. You're correct! You are correct. Even if I need money to live. Wow. Speaking of, thank you so much everyone for the subs that we had today. That's certainly going to help with me getting to sleep at night. What thing are we talking about, by the way? We're talking about a new social media site that is literally called Blue Sky. That is the name of it. It is currently invite only, but a lot of people are saying that they are going to move over to it because Twitter is going down the shitter, basically. Twitter is not the greatest place to be anymore, so people are abandoning ship to a different social media website. And as someone else pointed out to me, because the social media website is called Blue Sky, trying to get the username Blue Sky Wolf might not be easy. And I should probably get it as soon as possible, which is why I'm like, So yeah, I think I've pretty much persuaded myself now. Yeah, I'll make a Blue Sky Wolf Blue Sky account. Anyway, I'll make the account and I'll go to bed. I'm gonna make a cup of tea actually. Even if it's warm, I still want a cup of tea because I'm. But yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody for the subs, especially because it is September. Very much appreciated. Definitely helps because it means I at least have some money coming in. Because otherwise I don't. You know, I hate talking about money so much, but it is a concern at the moment because me and Spook have just moved. So, you know, commission me to do artwork of your characters, please. Right, I'm gonna go make an account, I'm gonna go make a cup of tea, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And I will see you guys tomorrow, where I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe more character designing, I guess. So, can vibe. Oh, I didn't talk about this at all tonight. We don't have D&D tomorrow, so tomorrow's Wednesday evening slot is a free slot. We're probably gonna play Cult of the Lamb, let's be honest, but I am open to suggestions. So have a think on that and we can discuss it during art stream tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you everybody. Love you all very much. Bye!